Dobbins, Marnik is no longer in downtown. Western Iowa is no longer there. Those are the people that were very much involved. If I ask here how many business people from downtown, probably one or two hands, okay? That's all. This is not the majority of the downtown area. My recommendation is, before we do anything, is let's put this item on a public hearing, in a regular session, invite all the downtown merchants, or before we even put it on the agenda, let's do a study to find out if there is interest. Because if there is no interest and we say, okay, the fee is 200, they'll pay the fee. But if there is no interest and the merchant, the downtown business people are not personally involved, emotionally involved, it is not going to work. They can pay the $200, but you know what? Nobody's going to watch our street. Nobody's going to be, everything has to do with vigilance. They have to watch out for downtown, and one is taking care of each corner in downtown. But if the business people has no interest in doing this, this is not going to work. You imposing on them fees, which is like taxes. If it's not coming from them, this is not going to work.
Let me make, do you have a comment?
Yes. I am Deborah Lopez of PC40, and I agree 100% with Mr. Rutan. Right now, I'm getting off the worst year in my sales at the PC40 grocery store, and my revenue is like I got economy, and additional $1,500 fee is just not what I was looking for from the city at this point in time. To be quite honest with you, everybody's thinking, what's going to happen next year? Things are looking worse. And even though I think the idea of it, maybe it's a good idea, or maybe it was a good idea 8 years ago, but to bring it in 20 days ago, send me a letter. There's a meeting on Thursday. I go to a couple of meetings, and all of a sudden, we have to come up with this money. The deadline is due January 30th, and we have to pay the money. I think it's all too fast, too quick. I go to the meetings. The first meeting I attended, I believe it was about 4 or 5 merchants at the first meeting. I went to another meeting today. I believe it was 2 merchants besides with that, and myself. And so I think there needs to be more participation if this is going to be implemented. But to bring something that's 8 years old and all of a sudden do it all, collect $124,000 first, I thought I was told this morning it was closer to $300,000. Every time I talk to somebody, the number changes. But,
Well, let me, because this is something that's on the books already. What about?
But it's on the books, but it wasn't enforced for 8 years.
Oh, I know.
And to bring it all of a sudden, after 8 years, after the worst year in sales, like sure.
No, I understand. What I was going to say is, there's something on the books already, which is an ordinance. It was approved sometime, regardless of who was proposed it or not, it was approved. What? Because it takes time to go back to the merchants and to do all that. And I understand it's not the right time to do any of that. But what do we do when the downtown merchants come to us asking for, well, we need money because we need to clean it, or we need money because the trees are dying, or we need lighting, or we need this, or we need that? What do we say? To both of you that are leaders in the downtown, do we tell you, well, you didn't want to bid it, go back and do it on your own? So what do we do?
Well, it's kind of, I'm in the same position as city then. I don't have the money. You guys are laying off staff. I'm cutting back, I go to the warehouse, I'm cutting back hours. I'm doing a bunch of cost-saving measures to try to stay in business. So like I said, I'm in the exact same position as the city. So I'm only spending the money I absolutely have to spend to try to stay in business, try to continue doing business during these tough times here in Calexico. And, pretty much in the whole United States, I guess. But, you're asking me to give you $1,500, not you, but to put $1,500 in this project, and we'll see if it works. It just seems like a tough burden upon myself and upon my business.
Do you think a modified fee, like $100 a year for the marketing? I mean, I don't know.
The thing is that, to say, that's what I was asked this morning. Is it 250 the number? Is it 100 the number? I think it needs to be revisited. A new ordinance needs to be put in place. Everything has, I think you should start from scratch and start it all over again instead of let's try to modify it and see if it works. See if there is participation from the downtown merchants. Like Mr. Rutan was saying, if they don't want to participate, and nobody wants to participate in it, why should the city impose a fee on it? And, getting back to the clean streets and the lighting, there are 30 ordinances on the book that say that you have to clean the front of your store, you have to keep your alley clean, you have to keep the windows clean, you have to keep the front of your building in a decent condition. Why don't we just enforce the ordinances and keep the city as in a good state?
Yeah, I just want to add that it was the group of people that I mentioned who approached the city and the chamber and tried to create that PID. It was not something that the city wanted to do.
No, I understand that 100%. Like I say, 8 years ago, situations were different. 8 years ago, I was making money. The past 2 years, I've actually lost money in my business. And like I said, done everything I could possibly think of. We're trying to save
But I agree with you, it's too old and we have to,
So what do we do?
Mr. Mayor, I have a few options pursuant to the law that there are. If you're going to disestablish the district, we actually have to go through formal proceedings to do that. So that's one of the options, is to disestablish this one through the formal proceedings, and then to create a new one, again, you have to go through the formal proceedings. So that's one option. The second option is you can keep the existing one on the books, appoint this advisory board, which should have been appointed to manage it in the first place, and that advisory board can then make recommendations to what changes should be made in terms of the price, the use of the money, the zones, those types of things, and then they can...
I like that option.
Okay, and then you can hold the assessment during that time. While the advisory board is discussing it, then you don't impose the assessment. And as soon as they come back with the changes, then council can adopt the
I'd like that
the
option.
modification.
I'd make a motion
I
for
like
that.
the chamber of commerce to be involved in it, to give us their input also.
So what...
I don't think the chamber can handle anything more. The IDDC,
I agree, I am a chamber member, and I do agree that the chamber would have very good input, and there would be a lot of good participation in the meeting, and I really believe that the chamber would be a big asset to the city.
In that issue
If
of the
you
bid.
decide to
Right.
amend it. The only other thing that I'd like to mention is that I know that we're under the gun here because on January 30th, the business license has to be paid. So at that point in time, that's when the amount was supposed to be collected. And I know that the city will probably have a difficult time collecting it after they pay the business license.
No.
The reason we're here tonight is for that same reason. Either it's added to the license or it's not, and it won't be.
For this year, essentially.
Oh.
So the advisory board would then come back and make a recommendation if it's 3 months, 6 months from now. If they make a recommendation to change it, council then would impose the new or the different amount or whatever is going to happen, but it wouldn't apply to the next business license next year.
And only because the license is going out 28.
Well, the fee has already been added to the license.
I understand that, but when does the license go out?
Send the license.
And that's December.
And you want to send the invoices?
Can we just tell them?
Can you send just put a letter in there
No,
that
she
disregards that?
added the fee in case it's changed.
Okay.
If it's modified or deleted, she can do it.
We have a comment?
That's what
I have a quick question.
I would like to-
Perhaps,
Wait.
Lena, I didn't look at you, turn. Is the fee collected up front or in arrears? Oh, no, it's not in arrears. So it's every year the council is supposed to adopt a resolution of intention if it's going to collect the fee. It hasn't done that, at least not that I'm aware of, for 8 years.
Respecting Mr. Lopez's comments, because I agree 100% with him and Mr. Swan in regards to the idea of not imposing a new bill and then after the fact and then nobody can really make it. I don't think that either one or anyone in this room will mind paying that or even double if there will be somewhere that we can see the benefit of getting more business and somehow a benefit of paying for anything. So I think if you abandon any kind of fee or start saying don't pay the fee, it also is not good for collection purposes. I think you should divide it by 12 and at least say, until we reach that group of the people to do what we're going to do, you should then pay at least a proportionate or even stall the payment until, say, the first quarter, so that way at least you close the year. But the fee might not be that much when you think about it. I mean, divided by 12 is not that much if you're getting what you were promised. I mean, I saw Joey Moreno giving his life.